Kenham's squared up the topic. Is creation a viable model for origins in the scientific era? Kenham's contention was the young earth creationism is viable model for origins, offering several of the philosophical arguments for creator, the origin of the laws of logic, consistency of the laws of nature, objective morality, consciousness, and information. However, when he moved into defending a young earth creationism, his primary source of evidence was the other scientists. So it was clear that Kenham using the scientists as authorities in their specific fields to argue. Bill Nye's contention was that he makes no distinction between observational and historical science. Bill Nye also mentioned several times that if the young earth view is to be taken seriously as scientific model, it needs to be make testable prediction.
How can we know if something is true? Should we just accept it because it is the universal truth? In the definition, the scientific and empirical approach to the study of mind is known as the experimental psychology. It is about the design, the evidence, and the gathered data, and processed through a scientific method. What we observe directly is different from what we understand. Bill Nye and Kenham had a debate about evolution versus creation. This debate challenged our worldviews with facts and evidences that feels like an invasion to our personal identities. They work on experimental psychology with an open mind. They search out perspective from multiples and different aspects, trying to form and modifying their opinion based on the gathered evidences that are objective, measurable, accurate, and justifiable.
In contrast, Ham faith-based conviction, New sought to take practical, common-sense, evidence-based approach in response to new claims that scientific analysis of fossils and geology has proven that the Earth is billions and billions of years old rather than 6,000. Ham argued that because we were not present at the time, in all historical analysis is conjecture and interpretation, except of course when it comes to evaluating the Bible. Ultimately, you can prove the age of the Earth. He said, you want us to take your word for it. That's what written in this ancient text is more compelling than what's around us, He responded. Early on, Ham cited scientists who are also creationists to demonstrate that science and creationism can coexist. But creationists and evolutionists have the same evidence. He claims it's a battle over the same evidence in terms of how to interpret the past. It's really a battle over worldviews and starting points. My starting points is God is the ultimate authority. If someone doesn't accept that, then man he has to be ultimate authority, and that's really the difference.
The debate between Bill Nye and Kenham proved that until now, there is no certainty about how and what is the true origin of us. According to Charles Darwin's theory of evolution, he proved that all species of life have evolved over time from common ancestors. In the creationism, it is the religious belief that nature and aspects such as the universe, earth, life, and humans originated with supernatural act of divine creation. But we humans have our own beliefs that our parents passed down to us. Maybe it just depends on what our family or teachers taught us.
The debate between Gilney and Kenham revealed the conflict between scientific evidence and religious belief in the origins of human and the universe. This conflict is also present in the field of experimental psychology, where empirical research may challenge religious belief about human nature and purpose. While some argue that religious beliefs are incompatible with empirical scientific research, others believe that they can coexist. This ongoing debate is relevant in many academic and social contexts. The conflict between scientific evidence and religious belief highlights the importance of critical thinking and inquiry in understanding the world. The tension between these two perspectives may ultimately lead to a deeper understanding of human knowledge and belief. Despite the tension, Evidence-based approaches continue to advance our understanding of the universe and our place in it.
In the debate, both parties were presenting different data and evidences they gathered that will help them prove their claims. Kenham's point of view were basing an ancient text wherein the creation narrative in the Bible is historical fact, and he thought that the earth were created together approximately 6,000 years ago. In contrary, Bill Nye's claimed scientific analysis where he defended that the earth is billions of years ago after the Big Bang. Nye equipped the debate with the most vital tool, presenting a piece of limestone with a fossil in it to show the evidence of evolution. Meanwhile, Ham bases his claim in the book of Genesis. However, Nye strongly proved his point through an empirical evidence. Towards the end of the debate, Nye admitted that he would change his thinking about creationism right away if given enough convincing evidence. But Ham admitted that nothing would convince him otherwise.
I recently watched the debate between Bill Nye and Ken Ham. It was a fascinating debate that discussed the origins of the universe, the age of the earth, and the claims of creationism. Bill Nye was passionate, articulate, and well-informed on the topics of science. He presented evidence to support his views and challenged Ken Ham to explain why his views were accurate. Ken Ham, on the other hand, presented his views from biblical perspective and argued that science was not the only way to explain the world. The debate was respectful, and both sides presented their arguments fairly. I found it interesting to hear both sides of the argument and to learn more about each perspective. I learned that both Bill Nye and Ken Ham have very different views and beliefs when it comes to the debate of creationism versus evolution. Bill Nye believes in evolution and scientific evidence, while Ken Ham is a creationist and believes in a literal interpretation of the Bible.
It has been a long battle for humans to discuss and prove how the world and life in it had begun. Creationism and evolution are two of the most common explanations that human could ever hear about the beginning of the universe. On a debate between Bill Nye and Ken Ham, strong claims were presented to explain both theories. Bill Nye is firm and confident of his beliefs that science explained the beginning of the universe. Meanwhile, Ken Ham remains steadfast with his belief about story of the creation in Bible. Though both sides presented comprehensive arguments, their respect for one another remains. Nye may not be accept religion for himself, but accepting the finding of science does not require rejecting Christianity. Christianity and science are complementary, not competing source of truth.
Ham won the coin toss, so he's up first with an opening statement. The word science has been hijacked by secularists. He starts listing scientists who believe biblically creationism, and he's got a slideshow to back it up. His voice raises as he talks about Raymond Damarian, the inventor of MRI machine, who is biblical creationist. Now it's Nye's turn. He drops the first references to fossils and the Grand Canyon. The world is not 6,000 years old as Ham believes. Nye says the United States will be left standing by other countries if it doesn't listen to science and teach real science in schools. If Nye can get kids excited about science and trying to understanding the world we live in, then he needs to be given more opportunities to communicate with them. Nye telling his audience that we don't know a lot of things yet, but we are out there looking for answers, and you could be part of this exciting future. So Nye did a particularly good job of bringing that across. Scientists can test ideas and claims. Strange or the unusual claims need especially strong proof. The future holds a lot of discoveries. There will be wide claims, some of them will come with extraordinary proof, but that's science.
Creationism and evolution have very different viewpoints on how Earth and human beings began. Creationism is the belief that life and universe were created by a supernatural being God. The evolution is the process by which different kinds of living organisms develop and diversified from earlier forms during the history of the Earth. Too often, people may assume that the debate is either or, but this arises from the misconception that evolution by definition entails atheism. Likewise, many people believe that neo-Darwinism is a proven, incontrovertible fact and that therefore belief in God is redundant. Towards the end of the debate, Kenham admitted that nothing would change his mind concerning with its view on creationism, because in reality, neo-Darwinism remains a theory, albeit the most widely accepted theory. But even if it were able to be proven beyond question, it still would not rule out the possibility of a creator.